I would like to take a moment of silence, if I may. So, I guess you were wondering why I waited to post this video until now. Well, I have a good reason. I think you all know what just came out tonight in theaters. Catching Fire! Catching Fire! So I just went to see the special screen, the 8 o'clock screening before the midnight premiere. I just went to see that one, and I saw Catching Fire. The very first thing I want to say, Francis Lawrence, you are my hero, and I love you. Can we please give Francis Lawrence a round of applause right now? You did a great job. One word to describe this movie: marvelous. It was marvelous. It was amazing and fantastic and beautiful and majestic and everything you'd want in a movie, and I loved it so much. It was 10 times better than The Hunger Games. Oh, by far! It was so good, so much better. My expectations were made. The scale was broken because it was just so much more than I was expecting, and I am pleasantly surprised. I can honestly say this is one of the best book-to-movie adaptations I've ever come across in my lifetime. Okay, that sounds a little dramatic, but one of the best book-to-movie adaptations I've ever seen. I was recently skimming through Catching Fire the other day, just reading through the events, refreshing my mind, yada yada. So when I went to see this movie, word for word from this book, Catching Fire, had it word for word, entire scenes exactly like they were in the book. It was just so crazy how well done this adaptation was. I didn't know it could be done. But Francis Lawrence, you did it. The pacing was so amazing. You had just the right amount. The pacing was just like the book, where you had most of it was before the arena, leading up to the games, and then you have the games, and nothing was too rushed. You had it all planned out perfectly. The explanation of the clock was put out perfect. Even though they didn't mention the watch that Plutarch was wearing, they still managed to get it across as a great way to understand the arena, how it was. The arena, how it was amazing. It was so great. It was uncanny how awesome the visuals was. I mean, come on. The arena, the clothes, the Capitol, the train, everything. It was great. And every section of the arena as well, the mist, the blood rain, the wave, the jabberjays, the monkeys, everything was just so cool. It was not too fast in figuring out, oh, this is a clock. Okay then, tick tock, this is a clock. Oh my god, yes, it's a clock. Why? Wyrus, you're a genius. Yes, I know. Wyrus and Beedie. Wyrus was one of my favorite characters. District 3 represent. I love District 3. I am a resident of District 3. I love them so much. And Beedie was just so great. Can we talk about the acting? This cast, the actors were perfect for these characters specifically. It was so well done. It was crazy. These characters were brought to life through these actors and actresses from the book. You don't understand how job well done they did. Oh my goodness gracious. Jennifer Lawrence, if you weren't enough of my favorite all-time actress before, if you weren't my favorite heroine of this century, you are now, because I adore you so much. Remember when I said, oh, she's one of the best actresses? Well, not best, but one of my favorites. Well, yeah. She is the best now. Her acting was superb. She did a great job as Katniss. These emotions are real and genuine. You can feel it. I am crying when she is crying. I am laughing when she is laughing. I am feeling what she is feeling, because that is what you're supposed to do when you're watching a movie or reading a book. You're supposed to be feeling the emotions that the characters are feeling to make sure that they're genuine. So we love it even more. We love these characters even more. So we get attached, and we do. And the actors, it's their job to bring it to life as much as possible. And she has done so, and Josh has done so, and Liam has done so, and everybody else has done so. Even Liam did an amazing job as Gale. That whipping scene, the post-whipping scene, was so great and fantastic. And even though it was a little different, and even though certain aspects of the movie were not exactly like the book, it didn't matter. They adapted it in such a fantastic way. It's called an adaptation for a reason. We know not everything's going to be the same. Like I said, it was word for word from the book. But even though that would be the case, even if it wasn't word for word, they still got the premise of the book done perfectly and had everything that needed to be in there. And basically, the only word I can use is adapted, because that's just the way it is. The adaptation overall, they couldn't have done it a better job. Couldn't have done it any other way, because it was just so perfect. Even though certain aspects were different, they got everything in their points across in the best way possible. They have these big events that happen that we understand, how the arena is a clock, and how Katniss has to prove to Snow that her and Peeta are in love. Those aspects are big things that obviously are going to have to be in the movie. But then they have the certain specific elements that also make it so much better. There's important specific details, and there's unimportant specific details. And just things like Peeta's favorite color being orange, and Katniss and Peeta being with child, and Joanna coming out from the blood rain with Wyrus and Beetee. Or when Peeta gives Katniss the pearl. Oh, my heart. Yes, love is weird, Joanna. It is very weird. Or all the victors holding hands after the interviews. They could have left all those things out, but they didn't, and that's what matters. All those little things, they matter, and they were done just amazingly, and so perfect. It's just perfect. Saying nobody's perfect, this was perfect. I can't describe it any other way, because that's just how it's gonna be. Acting, back to the acting. Sam Claflin, Finnick. He is Finnick. Not just saying he played a great Finnick, he was a great portrayal of the character. No, Sam Claflin is Finnick. He did a fantastic job. Again, these emotions are real. And you were heartbroken when Mags died, when he heard Annie's voice with the Jabberjays. You felt that pain. You felt it. The sugar cube scene was word for word, exact same scene from the book. There was no detail different. That was just fantastically perfect. Can we talk about Jena Malone? I adore her. Perfect Joanna Mason. The best one you could ever find. Joanna Mason is my idol, okay? I was so worried they weren't going to put the elevator scene where she strips down, because that was just one of the highlights of the comedic reliefs in this book, and I loved it so much, and they put it in the movie. I was so worried they weren't going to, and Jena Malone is so funny. I had no idea. And then Josh Hutcherson, I love him so much. He was just like a little boy staring at her. Ooh, I like that. And Katniss just like, that entire scene was done perfect. It's just perfect. I loved it so much. My adoration for that scene. I couldn't stop talking about it. And I was laughing hysterically. But I was also feeling for her. She was so funny, but then you also had to pity her at the same time, as you're supposed to for Joanna. And she was just perfect. I loved her. Saying, fuck the cat, this, fuck that, fuck all the people who created the Hunger Games. I hate you. Yeah, you can go screw yourself. Fuck you, Snow. I love you, Joanna. You are amazing. And Jena, you are also amazing, because you are one. One scene I want to talk about specifically is the ending scenes of the movie and of the book. Now, while reading the scene where Katniss has to shoot the arrow into the sky and everything comes crumbling down, I could never picture that in my head while reading. I just thought it was really confusing in the way that Susan Collins explained it, and that's one of the very few critiques I've ever had in her books. But that's one of the few that I was very confused with until afterwards, when she wakes up in the hospital room. I could never really comprehend how that went about, but seeing it visually, in the movie with every little the bits and pieces from the force field tumbling down and everything exploding all around her and Katniss all in the center of it. I saw it the way that I was supposed to see it, the way Suzanne intended us to, and it was just a great job. It made me understand it even more than the book did, and that is something very rare when you can get the movie for you to understand things better than the book did in any way possible. But yes, that ending scene was, oh my god, I loved it. Katniss getting with the syringe, and then Haymitch attacking her. You really think you're gonna go against the Capitol with one syringe? Really? Really? And then Gale saying there's no District 12 like in the book, the final words, and then he says it's all gone, and my heart broke just like Katniss's heart broke. Jennifer's face. This is when you know that this is a fantastic actress that can pull anything off, and you feel the emotions just by one facial expression, not even the words she says. When she looks up into the camera and she's heartbroken, and then her face transforms into this hard, stubborn face that says, oh yeah, I'm badass, and I'm gonna get the Capitol back big time. And then it ends, and then the movie ends, and then it was amazing, and Jennifer, you are my love, and God, so good. One thing that was just the icing on the cake, though, just to top it all off at the end of it, was when it faded to black at the end of the movie, and we have the Mockingjay from the Hunger Games transforming into the Mockingjay from Catching Fire, and then spreading out into the Mockingjay of Mockingjay. Beautiful transition into one movie and the next to show us what comes next. It was just so cool and such symbolism in this movie. Oh my gosh, it was so great. But can we talk about character development? Just movie-wise, you think books can do great character development? This movie did amazing. Effie Trinket, oh my goodness gracious. I loved her outfits, I loved her attitude, but then I also loved her when she was feeling for Katniss and Peeta with her heart, and you could see that it was genuine. It wasn't just her Capitol facade. She was feeling actually genuinely hurt and upset. And Cinna, oh my god, I was sobbing at certain points in the movie too. I was getting very upset at certain events that happened in the book. When the old man died on the Victor's tour, and when Cinna died, and when the Katniss had to go up into the arena, still heartbroken, and had to do her thing. Oh my goodness, I was so upset. This movie just gave me all the feels all at once, and I hate you, Francis Lawrence, for that, but I also love you at the same time. We have a very complicated relationship, and I love it. You can even see Prim's character development in this movie too, when she was just a small, naive little girl in the Hunger Games, and now in Catching Fire, her growing up, really facing the harsh world and trying to take over. And when the mom was putting the syringe and the thing, and then her hands were shaking, and then Prim's like, Mom, I got it, let me do my job. Oh my god, and then when Jennifer started freaking out after she realizes that she's going back into the arena, and how she just breaks down, that is true emotions there. And it was just so terrible. I was head in knees upset. Not a good feeling. If my love and appreciation for this movie has not come across so far, I assure you, I'm trying not to be as vague as possible. This movie was the epitome of book to movie adaptations. And I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. More like a 10 out of 5 stars, because it deserves it. It truly, truly deserves it. You, everybody who is involved in this movie making process of this book, Susan Collins to Francis Lawrence, and everybody in between, thank you. Thank you so much. I have such admiration and appreciation for you. It's no, nothing compares. So, yeah, it was so awesome. So awesome. So I'm gonna go, probably gonna post this tomorrow, and I will talk to you soon. DFTBA.